Boner.
All rise and record, and I hope you're making enough for all of us.
Coffee. Wow. Are you grinding your own beans? That's the thing.
Yes, he's Canadian. Don't they do that there? That's all
you got the French press, dude.
Put a little maple syrup in it, and you're good to go.
Obviously, Flusher wants bacon or sausage. One, I don't know which it is.
Either one's fine.
Well, welcome to We Got a Case, guys. Creed, I know you were saying to yourself, Mikey, somebody on here looks very familiar. Well,
resting bitch face there, Tara?
No. We haven't seen Tara before.
Okay, well, she just looks like
Tara is looking terrible.
So Jamie Dean?
Yes, Miss Houseman here. House. She was with us, I believe, 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, where it was her mother. You remember her mother was going in for like heart surgery or something. And she was also the one with the OnlyFans, where she would have the little, you can just say it so much, like she had OnlyFans cam going.
That's why I don't remember them.
Her neighbors were very against the other guy that she called Bubba, which was like her cousin. She said she had raised him, changed his diapers, all this and that and the other. And it all stemmed from the neighbors still being friends with Tara here, who was the ex of Bubba. Now, if none of this makes sense to you, and Mikey, you're just rambling on, if you look down below, there's a link to the first video.
All right.
You can watch that and then watch this one. But if you've already seen the other one, just stay around. Especially, I'm talking to you people in the future. So yeah, we've got the whole thing where they wanted, the driving through. They said he padded his knife in his pocket. That whole scenario. So there was still the case of the whole Tara wanting either one against Miss Houseman or Miss Houseman wanting ones against Tara. Not really sure. So this will draw to a conclusion.
Nice.
The case that we coined. They call me Miss Piggy because she said they would get on the ring camera when she would walk by their house or be nearby, and they would be like, "Hey, Miss Piggy, woo, sue it, Miss Piggy."
And
their
of course,
words, not ours, by the way.
Of course, Judge Nailbiter.
Yes, he's familiar with this case. He says he knows all about it.
This morning, before we broke, was that I'm somewhat familiar with the situation since I heard a number of petitions at the last hearing concerning this, except I did not have Ms. O'Neill's petition at that time. And then I also read the documents that have been filed in this case. So, Ms. O'Neill, just to sort of summarize, you were either married to or a partner of Ms. Houseman's cousin, Ryan O'Neill. Is that right? Or Randy O'Neill?
Ryan O'Neill, the actor?
Correct.
Okay. And
wrong one.
Married or partner?
Partners. We have children.
Okay.
We had sex a lot.
All right. And are you still living next door, or what's the story there?
Yes, I currently live next door to Jamie. Randy O'Neill was served a restraining order, and he was removed from the property for a period of a year.
Okay. And that year includes, when's that year up?
That just November 3rd.
Okay.
Of 2024.
Okay.
All right.
So he's gone. Bubba has left. Bubba's had to go. When the protective order and everything went in, remember he had another case coming up after the one we saw.
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
Was her trying to take him to court over a restraining order because she claimed he had put his hands on her. So we have now kicked Bubba from the plantation, and she is living in Bubba's house for at least the next year. So Bubba didn't fare too well in the next case either, did he?
6 months of member Shelley. Thank you.
Blessings.
And Ms. Houseman, I can't remember. Do you reside right next door?
Adjacent. So our like property lines, our field lines come together.
Field line.
All right. So my memory from the testimony last time is that after listening to the parties, it was fairly apparent to me that Ms. Houseman was very protective of her cousin Randy, and that those hearings involved some neighbors who I think were protective of Ms. O'Neill, and
Mrs. Bubba.
they were seeking protection orders concerning Ms. Houseman. Ms. O'Neill, would you briefly sort of summarize why you believe you need the protection orders?
Yes. So I'm not related to the cases.
Shelley, thank you for the 5. I think everybody's on track now in the chat. I think we figured it out.
Yeah, you got to remember the people that got the neighbors that got the TPO against Bubba last time are good friends with Tara. They're like bestest besties with her. So they are slowly taking over the land. I mean, if they are able to get this one against her, Miss Houseman, woof, they win it all.
That's true. It's a good point.
That she has going on with the neighbors. I know I was brought into it, but that's part of the problem is Randy and I have our own protection order and things going on, and Ms. Houseman feels the need to protect him even though he's a grown man, and she continues to insert herself in the middle of us with no regard to my children's safety or their emotional well-being or mine as well.
Okay, so summarize those things that Ms. Houseman's doing that's causing you concern.
It's been made clear to her by myself, my daughter, and other people who lived on the property at the time, and also police officers, that she is not welcome here, but she continues to come to my home. One time, in the middle of the night, 2:00 in the morning, pounding and screaming on our door, waking my kids up, also scaring them just because it was the middle of the night.
It's probably drunk, Tara.
She
That's
came
what it sounds like,
knocking
don't
on my
it?
door again when I had visitors at the home. She, drove recklessly her SUV through my yard where my children play, and almost hit my mother. She just does whatever she feels necessary to protect her cousin, and she believes that she has a right to come on my property because her dad used to own this property and because her cousin owns the property, and doesn't feel she has to listen to the people that live here.
Wow.
Thank you. Ms. Houseman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before she talks,
Okay.
real quick, I'm protective. I would be protective of my cousins too, but man, she is like obsessed.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I mean, I know
a
I'm not
little bit,
saying
yeah.
anything inappropriate is going on. I'm just saying
Well, there
it
might be.
seems. Well, allegedly. I'm not saying that there is, but I'm just saying it comes off kind of.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, not good.
She may be in love with her cousin, ladies and gentlemen. It's 11.
Actually, there's quite a bit I'd like to say.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
I don't have any orders against me right now, as you all know, because you talked to me last. I have not been over to her house since I had stuff I needed to turn into you, but I didn't get a chance. My mom ended up having to have an emergency surgery, and she's been sick since.
She was having surgery
And I'm
anyway.
working on top of that, so I thought I could turn it in on Friday and didn't even realize it was a holiday, and that's why I had it off. But I have conversations between Tara and I have conversations between Otto and I. Tara and I were fine with each other about a year and a half ago. We had a bonfire that included my cousin and my neighbors that no longer live here, and we were having a bonfire. And then we all went home from my house. So I came up from the field. I went inside. Randy went home, and Tara and Randy both called me, involved me in their problems. And she said she didn't want Bubba coming home. They had a very on and off relationship all the time since I've known them. They break up every other day usually. The cops were called that day.
So to me and Creed,
that night, Randy called him because she locked him out of the house. And I did say, this is ridiculous. You guys don't need to be together, because just because you love somebody doesn't mean you need to be with them. Ever since then, we've had issues. I used to go back and forth with the horses, Randy's horses, and my horses, because we do have a joint field, and we have 2 gates on our. He had just been over that day working with my horse that he ended up selling for me just a little while after all of this.
Humble brag.
And Tara was messaging him, telling him that she didn't want me at the house unless I apologized to her. I didn't feel that I needed to apologize to her. I was outside. I don't go in her house. When her and Randy split up and he got his own room, I did go into his room. I've never walked.
Here's the beginning of it. Should we have the sexy music, or I mean, I think that we've got.
I don't know. I feel really inappropriate, but she was talking about too how she just shows up when she has company over. Do you think she was like checking in, like, "Hey, Randy, don't want any hijinks here"?
So they broke up.
You know, I'm single now. Why don't you come over here and change my diaper?
We were out riding horses, and I heard they broke up. So
hard riding.
Ran right over into Randy's room. Yes, my cousin.
Soft swinging.
He said, "Which neck roll would you like to go?"
He said, he looked out the window, he saw me outside, and he's like,
Sam's Graham Tricky.
Into their house. She has walked into mine and started screaming at Randy.
Randinator.
Did I pull in at 2:30 in the morning? Yes, it makes me sound like a crazy person when it's said that way. But their driveway has the 2 parking spots for their cars right in front of their garage door. And then it goes back. And then her daughter has a tiny home that she lives in on the right-hand side, and a parking spot also on the right-hand side. And then there's a double drive gate to get into the field. Well, when you park in the back, Randy is in the sunroom, which the driveway goes all the way back to the sunroom. He was having issues with his phone being turned off and waking up for work. He said, if I don't call you by 2:30, can you come over and wake me up? I didn't speed through the yard. I didn't yell and scream. The door was locked. I did have to knock. I couldn't call him. So yes, that makes me sound a little like a psychopath at 2:30 in the morning. The day that she was talking about me driving through her yard, she wasn't there. She has other witnesses like her mother that wrote a nice long statement about me, saying my driving. And yes, I did drive through the side of the yard. That day we had just had animal services called on us. My cousin came over to get, he was using my truck. He came over to get my truck and my kennels for my dogs so he could put up kennels outside. And I was headed to Tractor Supply, which you can go to Tractor Supply past her house, which I pass her house every day because my son's bus stop is at the end of 110th at that gravel road. I have not come onto their property or done anything to them except I did. I'm not great with the dates, but I'm sure she's got it written down. And I also sent Otto a message, which I was going to send to you in the files, but I didn't get it. I have all of it.
I hate when we drop a nice little nugget like that and just keep moving on.
Not saying it's her that did it, but just saying it happened.
And the thing about the animal services, I'd love to know.
Well, maybe they're saying they're mistreating the horses, or maybe even they're talking about those ducks that wear studded collars around the property. Could be any of those things, Creed. Any of them.
Down the street, we have a neighbor. Her son has called animal services on Texas, which is Tara's son Otto's dog. He is the sweetest dog ever.
Dog's name is Texas?
And this lady was trying to catch him. She had a leash, and I was knocking on Tara's door because Texas was running back away from her, and she knows his name because I was calling his name. I didn't want to leave him out there, but I had to go get my son at the bus stop. I wasn't going to take her dog and get in trouble for that. So I knew she was there. I could hear her. So I knocked louder because I wasn't sure if she was just having a really loud conversation or she was literally standing on the opposite side of the door. And she didn't answer. So I walked back to my car. She opened the door and I said, I was just trying to tell you that this lady is trying to take Texas. I also have a video after her mom stated
don't mess with Texas.
Something about Texas not ever getting out. I have 4 pictures that I was going to send you of different dates that Texas is on my property, and a video of me driving him home and talking to Tara's mother and asking her to put Texas inside because he does get out. And like I said, he's a sweet dog. He doesn't deserve to get shot because he's walking through somebody's yard.
What?
It's ridiculous, but that's what we were all in trouble for. So I was trying to do that.
So is she insinuating these new neighbors and stuff are just going to shoot the dog if it just walks through the yard?
It seems that way. It also seems like, they can't get along with no damn body. For God's sakes.
Well, I think that Kay had said it.
Yeah, we had dog issues before with the dog, and the one dog had gotten injured or whatever. I couldn't remember if it was shot or not, but I remember the one dog.
Well, maybe that's why they're saying that they'll shoot it if it.
I mean, hope they don't shoot any pigs.
I'm sorry, my son's coming home, so you're going to hear my dogs barking.
I'm sure they're friendly.
There are a lot of things that are true, and there are a lot of things that are not true. I did speak to them. I'm sorry. Macy, come. Macy. Just a minute, Your Honor.
Is Macy one of the horses that are in the house right now?
The house horse, yeah. Who doesn't have one of those?
We did treat each other like family. I gave her son a truck. I love her son. She talks about me shooting the neighbor's trailer door open, but we are also still friends with that neighbor. I did not. Her son was mad because she had also accused Randy of sleeping with the neighbor, the one that she's talking about. I shot out the
That's
window.
why she's so mad.
She spit in his face in the barn when they were in there talking because she thought he was being inappropriate. I wasn't even there for that. And she's admitted to me that she has hit him, and I've never attacked her. I have never hurt her. I have never threatened to kill her or beat her or do any of those things or to her children. And she has one child with Randy. The other ones he treats like children. And I adore all of them.
The other 2 bastards
Amy
are
and
just
I
there.
used to play Mario Party together. Or not Mario Party. Yeah, Mario Party. And cards. Like, I did have a conversation with Gage about medications we were
Strip
talking
poker,
about. And Tara was there too. It was
bad
medications that Gage has taken, and Randy was taking medications. And Randy didn't want Otto taking medications because Randy has issues with meds because he was born an addicted baby. So he thought, them having to take medication meant something was wrong with them. And I told him it was.
Wonder Twin Double D's, thank you. 5 memberships on the main channel.
The most Fast and Furious 2 minutes ever. We got some accusations of adultery. We've got spitting in people's faces, drug addicted babies, shooting out neighbors' windows. I mean, the list goes on and on while she unpacked so quickly that I don't even know if the judge heard any of it.
they live out in a pretty rural area, right?
It's gotta be.
It sounds
Gotta
that
be
way.
with lots of land.
We got animals. We've got pretty big parking situation, it seems, at one house. We've got end of dirt roads for kids being picked up on a bus. So a lot of this might not be that crazy for where they're at. I mean, shooting out of windows and such.
Shooting out windows, it happens. It happens all to the best of us. Who hasn't shot out a couple of windows?
She's kind of rambling, but she's throwing out some good things here and there, though.
Gave away a truck, plays Mario Party, cards.
Cards.
Also, the Randy's house has a tiny house that one of her kids live in.
Yeah, that was.
Kid's got his own place.
Are you sure it's not just a camper?
Tiny house.
I mean,
teeny tiny. Again, thank you, Wonder Twin.
Wasn't. And I told him he couldn't just cold turkey stuff like that because you go off your, you go crazy. Which I did say those things, but not in the way that they're saying that I said them. And then the day that I was never told that I could not go over to Randy's house. Just recently, I was out in the field, probably about 2 months ago, maybe three, talking to Tara because one of her dogs was chasing one of the other horses, and one of the horses had just knocked down a fence. And so I was just making sure everything was okay. And we talked for like 20 minutes, and I thought everything was fine. And then she had sent a picture of me, which I also have, to this friend that we used to have as a neighbor, telling the neighbor that she had to deal with this fat B word, which was me. And she sent Courtney that picture. And I hadn't done anything to her. So when I went over,
didn't find it was you.
Randy, had asked me if I wanted to come over and get some apples.
Are we not going to talk about the picture before we get into the apple situation? We're not going to talk about what kind of, was it like a bad picture, do you think? Or was it a nude? I
don't know. I'm just waiting for my how you like these apples reference here in a second. Jesus Christ, this is just so crazy.
For real. I mean, it's close.
Everything is just so much happening here. I couldn't sleep at this place.
Wow. Let's go. Smokes.
You don't even smoke, Bubbles.
Give me a smoke, hairdo.
I'm fucking starting to run out.
Hairdo is my favorite.
Oh,
do we believe any of it? Do we? I don't know where I stand.
There's got to be some truth in here. Yeah, of course. But, crazy as in the beholder creed.
Here's my quick thing about just Tara, and she's had this look on her face since the second that we started it. And it just reminds me, it reminds me of a look that you would give to a woman that just stole your husband, basically. That's what it comes off as.
Like you homewrecker.
Basically. And that's confusing. But
unbelievable.
Mikey?
Oh no, don't tell me there.
No. Good news.
Oh, okay. Whew. I thought you were going to say there's been an accident.
That's always good news. Listen, Heidi, whenever you use a milestone like that of 25 months, by the way, to tell us to check the PP, that's the way you should be doing it.
I like it.
Lead by example.
It's PP Tuesday.
Yes, there you go. I like that. Heidi G, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Heidi.
Can I just send it back to you for the Daytona tickets? Or how's that work?
I said, yes, I came over, and she was talking to me outside, and I was nice to her. I wasn't rude to her, but I didn't try to make conversation because it was very apparent to me, whether she's nice to my face or not, she doesn't like me. So I wasn't going to feed into it. Like I said, there's explanations to almost everything. It's just the way that it was taken. Like, yes, I did show up at her house at 2:30 in the morning. It makes me sound like a crazy person. But I was asked to do that. I also have text messages showing that I have that. So if I need to send those in, I can.
Same with the video she never sent.
I really didn't get a chance to get anything in.
Mom got sick.
So honestly, I haven't talked to her They know this affects my job because I am a school bus driver. I work for the school district. If this goes against me, then I can lose my job. My job is well aware of what's going on. I haven't had any issues with the neighbors since we had your judgment. I haven't talked to her. I literally got served the day after she went to court with Randy, and I haven't even done anything to her. I haven't been to her house since. And, you know, she has already called the cops on me. I've had the cops called on me, or they have been here every weekend except last weekend since this all started. I got the cops called on me because she came down my private road that has no access to leave, unlike hers does. She was very scared because Randy was here, yet she left her daughter out in the car while she went in the neighbor's house, so then they could call the cops on me for Randy being at my house, and he wasn't here. I was driving his car because I didn't have one. Because my sister broke
All
up.
right, that's
They're taking it next level. I mean, they really are.
All right, that's like the first piece of evidence that I almost believe on that one. Tara thinks she's got her. He's in the house.
No. Maybe she shouldn't be giving away trucks to kids. Maybe she should keep hold on to those just in case. Also, Heidi, thank you very much. I got your message over here, and I will be sending you the email and everything. So don't you worry about that. And thank you for the very kind words. It's a nonstop. This isn't going to stop, right? This is going to continue until.
No, they all need this. Yeah, they all need these. It's I don't see any other way. And they're all playing games with each other. But I think that's really the first bad thing, though, that we've heard.
Tara is tight with those neighbors, man. I'm telling you, the ones that were there for the thing, something might be, really good friends. Getting that vibe from the hair.
The neighbors saw the tow truck come get it, and my sister having my car, and I was using his. So then I got the cops called on me, and my 12-year-old son is the one who keeps opening the door. He's like, Mom, the cops are here for you again. This is literally a weekly thing. I haven't done anything to any of them. And that's all I have to say, Your Honor.
Mom, the law's here again for you.
Thank you, Ms. Houseman. And Ms. O'Neill, anything else from you?
Yes. One thing is I've never called the police on her. I've called the police one time out of all of these things that have been happening the past couple months in our neighborhood. And that was called on Randy O'Neill because of violation of a protection order. I've never called on her. He just happened to be at her home at the time. She has come to my house since Randy was served. So that was the day that she was pounding on my door when I had visitors here, and she clearly knew I had visitors here. There were 3 extra cars in the driveway, and she looked right in my window at us. But regardless of the reason she came to my home, she knows she's not welcome. And whether I'm standing on the other side of the door, not answering it because I simply don't want to answer, because I don't want to talk to her, that doesn't give her reason to just pound on my door.
No pounding.
I want to protect my children. She, driving through my yard, I wasn't there, no, but I had family there, and I have children that play in that yard, and she just has tunnel vision when it comes to her cousin, and doesn't think of the safety of others.
I noticed that too, Cassa. She said it a couple of times that she never called the cops, and then said, except for that one time.
I've never ever done such a thing except for that one time. Again, she is very obsessed with her cousin. That is, I think that's kind of at the root of what's going on here. If she would just kind of mind her business, and maybe things would work out a lot easier.
I like the other thing too. There's 3 cars in the driveway, yet she was looking in the window.
Oh,
This is so weird. I think Loud said it. There's just a million moving parts.
What's going on in there, huh?
So this one's a difficult one.
The
And
sex.
I'm concerned for my children's safety. I have 2 adult children living here and I have 2 minor children living here. And they all feel unsafe. I mean, she lives right next door. So I would love the order put in place so that she doesn't feel that she has that right to come over, regardless of the reason or the excuse that she has behind it.
So showing up at 2:30 in the morning, admittedly, and pounding on the door, is that really enough? Because that's really the only thing that we've, I guess, established has happened, because she's admitted it. She's talked about it. They've talked. Isn't that really what it comes down to at this point for this particular part of the case?
Harassment. Well, that and the coming to her house when she saw she had company, peeking in the windows, beating on the door. Yes, Randy and Bubba, same person. It goes to harassment, I'm guessing,
But is it enough, though? I mean,
I didn't think it was enough for Randy patting his pocket with his knife in it to get the last one, but he sure as hell they got it.
That's another thing. She didn't look old enough to have 2 adult children.
She started early. I mean, good for her.
Nothing wrong with that. But
the field is fertile. Plow.
Also, that brings up a valid. Let's skip right by that one. We'll not touch that one. I just threw me off. Thanks. She used the kids, which is good, because to show fear. She said
scared kids, scared. They're terrorizing my children's.
Right. Which is a great thing to throw out towards the end, especially to the judge. Because that is always a deciding factor. If you don't feel comfortable in your house, that's one thing that but I mean, yes, there's some harassment here, but I have a feeling there was some harassment back from old Tara too.
Your Honor, may I say something to you?
May.
She has never called the cops on me, she says. That may be true. But if the night that the cops came here, the night that I still have Randy's car, the officer said, and I do have it on video, the officer stated that this was harassment because Randy was not here, and she's stating that he was. And you can look up to see if he's broken any of his orders, and he has not. And she might be right. I may have I think I did take Texas home after he was served. I was only ever told once that I was not allowed to be there, and the officer said I wasn't allowed to be there when Randy wasn't there because they didn't want me there, which I totally understand. I did not understand that since this split up, because this was way before this, they had separate houses. I didn't go there when Randy wasn't there. I have seen Texas out since. I haven't taken him home because she made it very clear that she doesn't want anything. And after seeing this, I mean, she says I banged on her door. She had, I believe, people from the state there. I don't see any affidavits stating that I did or yelled or screamed. I was talking to the lady very loudly and telling her to leave Texas alone. But I have no
that's what Texas
for her. Like, we've been to a wedding since the incident that we have. We don't speak to each other. I don't have any reason to speak to her. She's not family. I won't try to help them out. I don't want anything to do with them, to be honest with you. I just want to be left alone.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I say something? Take a wild guess. No wrong answers. So
that's the dog, Beverly.
The dog's name is Texas.
Yeah.
Did she say the people that were there when she beat on the door was the state?
Yeah. At 2:30 in the morning, or is that another time?
Separate time, 2 separate times.
Okay.
2:30 in the morning, she's just there trying to get Rand up. Is Randy home? Is he up? Randy, get up. You're going to be late for work. It's me, Jamie Dean.
You want somebody? Come on, bring me your sausage. Jamie Dean needs your sausage, Randy.
Jamie Dean smoked sausage.
Jamie
Yeah.
Dean.
Jamie Dean is not my lover.
She'll put her
Ooh.
meat, his meat in her mouth.
Mm.
The sausage I'm talking about, you guys. My God.
Well, if I was Jamie Dean, I'd have hung my webcam from the ceiling.
Yes, yeah, I have some.
This is a horrible
Right up and down.
angle.
You know those shots like in Florida from the helicopter that we love so much? Look like a video game.
I've been talking like this the
In
whole
case I
time.
am going to enter the protection order. This is different in my mind than the last hearings I held where they were somewhat unrelated parties who seemed to be intervening in a breakup between Ms. O'Neill and Ms. Houseman's cousin, Randy O'Neill. In this case, I'm going to find that Ms. Houseman has understanding that Ms. O'Neill didn't want contact with her, has still complied with that request. So I will enter the order. Ms. O'Neill, this order is in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you want it renewed, you'll have to come back to court to get it renewed. This order must be served on Ms. Houseman. I directed the sheriff's office to serve Ms. Houseman once again, so she has a copy of the order since there was not a temporary order previously entered in this case.
Big man.
Ms. Houseman, the terms of the order are that you're to have no contact with Ms. O'Neill or her children. You are not to go onto their property. There's no distance restriction since the two of you are adjacent property owners or property residents. So I haven't put a distance restriction in there, but you're to have no contact with Ms. O'Neill, her children, or to go onto their property. All right.
Not a problem,
Your-
Your Honor.
And as I said, Ms. Houseman will be served a copy of the order, and Ms. O'Neill, if you want to get a copy of the order, it will be in your file with district court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you both.
Wow.
So I
Oof.
guess he saw enough. Well, listen, we kind of both said this earlier. We both said it, right? About that this kind of needs to happen because what else is there's nothing they're just gonna keep calling police. They're gonna keep fighting. They're gonna keep all of this going without something in place. And I think that the judge kind of saw that. I think.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, somebody in the chat even said it, like she had self-described herself last time as being like really nosy, like a nosy neighbor, like a busybody type.
Yeah.
And that's
It's family.
Yeah,
So-
it's family, Green. That's the real kicker there. It's family. But it's man, this is a bad one. Yeah, no talking to Texas either.
I think that Jamie Dean got it because she kind of near the end there, she did say that, when I see Texas rolling around in my yard, I'm just not going to say anything. Yeah, that's
Good idea.
what I have to do. Tara's going to force you.
All Tara does is win, by the way.
Well, either way, they got the order, and
Tara's 2 for 2. Might as well go for one against the mom too. Why not?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, get
her in the
whole thing
hospital.
happening. Heather, we always say that too. There's a very good possibility there's a lot of notes in front of the judge. There could be lots of things.
There could be
we don't know.
pictures. There could be videos. There could be
Sure.
anything because we are not privy to that in
Yeah.
Washington State.
So I mean, there's a very good chance, some people just get things dropped on their desk and then all of a sudden just hear the case and that's it. Some get it ahead of time and are very familiar with the case and knows the ins and outs. And, so this was not the first time run around, with these people, that he's had. So you gotta kind of take that into
I
fact.
don't think it's over, man. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think it's over.
No,
something else is gonna happen. Another
I think
shoe's
they-
going to drop.
I mean, just look. Well, the face on Jamie Dean sausage isn't perfect, but you know, you just look at those two. They both look like they have an axe to grind. It's not
Mhm.
done. I just having that. I don't think. But you know, again,
I do not think neither one of them is going to be able to keep their mouth shut
no.
on either side.
Regina.
Virginia, unbelievable. Craziness on craziness on the craziness. But if you're watching this, you're like, wow, Mikey, I don't understand what's going on here. If you missed the beginning of the show, there's a link down below where you can watch the entire first case that we saw, this whole group, where you find out the lore of Rand, the Randinator. You see Jamie Dean Smoke Sausage's mom. She's there. She was the one that cussed the people out and everything else. So it's a definitely fun watch. So you really follow it more closely.
Millionth time. I don't watch football. I don't.
Creed's shirt means nothing. It could say buffalo shit on it. It means absolutely zero.
I do not watch football.
Creed could be wearing one tomorrow that says St. Louis Cardinals. He doesn't follow baseball either.
One very funny thing. I do watch the Cubs from time to time. No, I do watch a Cubs game or two.
WGN.
That's right, because I grew up with WGN on TV, and there wasn't much going on during the day. But I had put this. We were going to that Rochester event. It had lots of Rochester Buffalo things. You know, there's lots of. Anyways, I wasn't thinking, and I put this on, and I brushing my teeth, and I look and I go, "Oh no!" And I quickly changed.
Yeah,
the last thing
it'd just be nonstop. So, man,
yeah, I'm on them Bales.
Hey, buddy,
I'm sorry.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. I love this sweatshirt. I wish that this was here.
How many times have people said, love the shirt? Oh, hey man, love your you a lot of love, right?
No, but I have been cornered in grocery stores and big lots and other places.
Knife point
times where people and then some of them that really know what they're talking about, and they'll throw out some crazy shit. And I'll be like,
you just nod your head like,
hey. Yeah, first few times, Emily loves it when she's next to me to try to see me talk my way out of it, you know. But now I'm just honest. I don't watch football. Sorry. That's what I say when we're like the last.
Creed needs one of those cards. Have you ever been like somebody will approach you in the parking lot and they'll hang you cards like
deaf people?
Yeah, I'm deaf.
Yeah.
Would you like to buy a pencil?
I'm deaf.
Would you like to buy a pencil? That's what you need. I don't watch football. Here you go. Enjoy. Another fun time. By the way, there was a video released this morning over on the main channel of a sovereign citizen that you're going to see it everywhere by tonight. But we are the first one to put it up today. So make sure you go over there and watch it. You get all the fun, the thrills, the spills, the twists, the turns that only our channel can give you over there on the main channel.
That's her
crispy bacon. Yes,
that's her altar code.
That's really her. But it's a great time. It's a 2-for-1 soft citizen. It's a couple.
Yeah,
I don't want to give too much away, but it's fantastic. It was a gift. There you go.
For real though, that's how I started watching the Cubbies. Is because we had WGN and
back in the day.
All right, guys, appreciate it. I'll see you back here at 4:05, and then slots tonight too, because it's Tuesday. We do that Tuesday, Thursday. So the PPO Express, KC Carey, thank you, Shelly, Wonder Twin Double T with some gifts.
All the ladies,
thank you. Yeah, it's an all lady thing. I like that.
Oh,
hell yeah!
All the
ladies.
All the ladies.
Probably not single.
All the ladies. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay hard. Y'all stay tuned. Go back and watch the video that I put up this morning. It is fantastic. You will laugh your ass off. I promise. It's a guarantee.
Sports.
One day. See you guys real soon. Bye now.
Here's what's coming up this hour on the Credence and Bishop Show.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.